finally, the moment has arrived. My 4 books, Doodle Books 1 and 2 and Songs and Stories Books 1 and 2 have just arrived, and I want to share with you all the awesome goodness that is inside each one. This is Doodle Book number 1. The covers are white because these are full-fledged activity books. They are black and white, so you can grab your crayons and you can color along. This Doodle Book 1 actually has a story in it, and it's all about the lines and the spaces and steps and skips on the staff. So your little ones are going to love this. Practicing learning how to draw the notes. They even get to draw their own funny silly willy. And drawing the notes on the lines and the spaces. We have tracing and drawing opportunities, drawing them as space notes and as line notes, and watching them as they step and skip. Can you help Silly Willy step up? Sometimes Silly Willy steps down the staff. Remember, when he steps, he moves from line to space or from space to line. Let's help Silly Willy step down. All kinds of reinforcing and engaging concepts to learn. As Silly Willy steps higher, his note sings higher too, and then we trace all the way up to the top, and then we skip all the way up to the top. Steps and skips go down too. Up, down, and jumping all around. Oh, and look, sometimes Silly Willy even loves to play on middle C in the great big grand staff. And we get to trace C. Silly Willy plays high. You get to make your own high notes and your own low notes. You get to jump off the staff and begin stepping on the keys. And we're going to step them high, and then we're going to go backwards and skip down low. Oh yes, and there's even more note friends that you can draw along with. And then you can make your own steps and skips in the big grand staff. There's game instructions. You can cut those pages out and laminate them. And here's the game cards for you to play along. Skipping on the spaces and stepping on the spaces, and little notes that you can color and that you can cut out and laminate. And then of course those notes fit perfectly on these pages. So when you draw a card that says make notes that skip, you can put skipping notes on the staff. Or that step, you can put them step. Or maybe just say make all kinds of notes stepping down and start on a line or start on a space. So after your little one completes this whole book, they get their own little certificate that they get to color in, and they've mastered all the steps and skips on the staff. So I know so many little ones are going to love this book. You can use it while you're working in another series, or if you're working in this one. Doodle Book 2 is the first book with real notation and identifying where all of our friends live on the staff. So of course there's Chloe Cat, meow, and Chloe Cat is gonna be red because the color C in a lot of the methods out there are red. So we would color the C red, and then you get to draw the note C in the music staff. And it goes through all of the notes in the treble clef. And after you learn some of the notes, there's even a spot where you can write your own song. Draw a picture, write some words as to what's happening in the story, and then make your own music up. We're going to continue on with all the notes. And as we go along, we move into the bass clef. Let's get there. There's lots of pages in this book. Here we go. So we get to the bass clef. Now this time, as we move along, there are notes and rhythms for us to tap. Tap all the C notes with this melody. So you would go ahead and you would find your C, and you would go C, 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 hold, and then find the next C. C, 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 hold, and so on. And each page has a different rhythm to tap, so super fun. You could also remember, oh, if this is a D, which of our friends has the letter D? That's right, it's Daisy Dog's favorite note. And of course, we've got some more songwriting opportunities. And as we make it to the very end, again, a wonderful page to color and your certificate to show that you are an awesome doodler and you completed Doodle Book 2. The Songs and Stories book. Well, this is number 1. So Songs and Stories number 1 is the starting Songs and Stories book. So we're going to start very easily in just the treble clef. You can trace the treble clef below here, write your story, draw your pictures. This is exactly how Miss Deb does it. And then you make your beautiful song all up, right? So we've got quite a few pages for the treble clef. And then we've got quite a few pages for the bass clef, because we really want to understand between those high and low notes. Then as we move along, guess what happens? We get into the great big grand staff where you can write compositions that have your right hand and your left hand, the high notes and the low notes. And that goes for quite a while. So think of all the amazing music that you are going to make. And at the very end, you get your nice little page to color and a certificate for being a little songwriter. That's Songs and Stories Book 1. Songs and Stories Book 2. Well, this is just like Book 1, only it doesn't have any of the separate clefs of the treble and the bass clef. So if you have a little one that's already reading in the treble and the bass clef, you could just purchase Songs and Story Book number 2. And every page is like this. You have lots of opportunities to make all kinds of wonderful songs. And I'm not limiting you to any instructions. So you have freedom for the notes that they're learning right now. Perhaps they're learning the space notes in the treble clef, F-A-C-E. Well, then you can add some other notes in the bass clef to go along with the accompaniment that sound nice. So there's all kinds of options. The possibilities are really unlimited with this book. And when you get to the end, you got it. Another coloring page and another certificate. I know you are going to love these books. I can't wait to see them in your little students' hands. And I wish you happy teaching. Remember, you can get them on Amazon. Thanks so much. Bye.